Very good, I like it.
Were they haunted ducks that you could hear in the background? A bit of fun, Anne. You're the sceptic. I mean, what do you make of the ghosts and haunted stories like that? I mean, load of rubbish again, is it?
I don't think it is a load of rubbish. Well, perhaps some of the things we saw on there might have been called a load of rubbish.
Don't talk about Richard's work like that.
No, interestingly, you talked about ducks then. We do actually, locally by us, have the ghost of a headless duck. This is seen quite regularly.
So, sceptic-wise, you seem quite into the ghosts then?
Certainly, that's what I spend a lot of my time doing, is investigating these reports of ghosts. A lot of the stuff we can explain away.
And a lot you can't. Well, we're going to take a break, come back. We've got a clairvoyant for her to pick fault with.
So, what does the future hold? It's like magic, isn't
it? I know.
Here
How did you do that? Spooky. It's Friday the 13th, after all. Yeah. She should have slipped over and broke her back, shouldn't she?
No. Can we really predict it? How does it all work? Well, to tell us more, now we have clairvoyant Jenny Grayson with us. Jenny, welcome. Welcome to MK tonight.
And of course, we've got Annie Winsper there, our sofa sceptic for the evening, pouring scorn and everything on all these wonderful, fascinating guests that we've had on tonight. Do you mind that sort of thing?
No, not at all.
Especially in what you'll do, you expect people to not believe what you're talking about.
It's very healthy to be sceptical, very much so. Some people are very gullible and are taken in by everything, so it's really nice that there's both sides and a fine line, you know, that people can look at both sides and make their own minds up, which is totally what it's all about, really.
Now, I can't remember the programme, but there was a recent programme on Saturday nights with what's-his-name from This Life in it. That was about a clairvoyant or something, or saw dead people or passing or everything, and it all looks quite scary and everything. So,
well,
I mean,
no, certainly not. I mean, it depends what your life's holding for you, doesn't it? Some people, the path they've chosen, they find it interesting, and other people, they're not so bothered, and it's something that they won't encounter in this life that they have. So it's really, again, depending what you're doing and at what point you get to, where some people can turn and go, well, hey, actually, I want a bit of advice on this, or I want to contact somebody who's passed over, or my life is fine and I don't need to know.
Jenny,
sorry,
I was going to say, when did you discover that you had this ability?
Possibly when I was at secondary school, when I was about 13 years of age, but just never really did anything about it for a long, long time.
I mean, how did you know? How did it come to you?
It sounds really odd, but I would just have people chatting, and I would just think, this is bizarre, you know, I couldn't tell anybody and I wouldn't discuss it with anybody.
So is that, do you see them, or like me, you just get voices for 2 hours a day in your head?
Well, it started off just being clairaudient hearing, and then as I went on to develop an ability, skill, whatever you call it, then it became stronger. But I do feel it's stronger in others than in other people, and we all have a psychic ability to a certain degree. It just depends on what level you take it to.
Because I've heard about that, Anne, to bring you on. I mean, because I've heard that we've all got the power, but only some people manage to sort of channel it or whatever. I mean, what's your stance on the clairvoyance?
As you know, I'm also a member of the Bad Psychics website, where we expose and look at psychics and look at the techniques they use for talking to people. This thing about we all have psychic abilities is a standard thing that psychics come out with, because it makes you feel included and it makes you feel more like you're going to believe what they tell you, because you feel part of it then.
And are you sort of, do people are scared to approach you or worried that you're going to say something and no, what's going to happen?
But it's like if somebody comes to me and says I want a reading, they will have 100% of my time and they will have a reading. But I never meet people in the street and say, I must tell you this or I must say this. And my friends and family, I never discuss it with them unless, you know, we sit down. I always say, if you want a reading or you want to know something, you will have 100% of my time and attention, and we'll do it properly. I don't ad-lib to people at all.
So do you think our futures are predetermined, or it's just an ability you have to see what is going to happen to a particular person?
Spiritualism is, well, I don't believe it's a religion. I believe that it's everything that we all have, but I do believe that you write your life story before you come to Earth, and that you put challenges in there that will take you on a further spiritual journey.
Because there's quite a few faiths, religions that don't believe that there's anything the other side or anything. So how do you cope with people's beliefs in that?
again, I mean, you only have to look at the enormity of it and the way that the psychic or the clairvoyant, as I like to be known as, has moved on, really. You know, I think that in the last 5-10 years, people have become much more aware of it and are much more, OK, we'll have a look at this. And people are free to make their own minds up. And it's only when you feel maybe a need in your life that maybe you will address different situations.
And I know we had Chris on earlier that who dreams things that supposedly happened a few days later. How do you cope with the fact that if you know something nasty is going to happen or you hear something that isn't quite good for people?
It depends how you resonate, and it depends on what vibration you work on. If you're somebody who lives their life always down in the doldrums, nothing ever goes right, I'm always having a